Hey, what is up, guys? Welcome back to Tradingofftilt. I'm Ryan. In this video, we're going to be going over the 8-wave count for Bitcoin, and we're going to be starting off with the macro counts as usual. So the first macro count I want to show you guys today would be this one right here, where we're putting a cycle wave 1 here, and then a cycle wave 2 down here. And we're counting this up as a 1, 2, so we're on the Bitstamp chart, which shows the most price history for Bitcoin. But we don't see this wave 1, but we know it existed. So we have this wave 1 here, down for the wave 2, up for the wave 3 here, down for the wave 4. And then finally up for this wave 5 right here, which would have been the tops in 2018. And then we keep that for a WXY, which the main problem with this count would be that this wave X is pretty impulsive, but we have seen impulsive looking wave X's in the past. So it's definitely possible this is a WXY. In fact, I think it's pretty likely because especially moving up, we get a wave 1, 2 here. And this is very characteristic of a wave 2 in the fact that it retraces all the way down to the 0.618 of the golden pocket of the previous move. So I think it's pretty likely this is actually a 1, 2 as opposed to a 3, 4 like I showed you guys in my previous video. So that's definitely a possibility we need to keep in mind. And then obviously if this is a 1, 2 and this is all going to be at the third of a third, then the sky is our limit in terms of price predictions. We could really come up to 500K for this wave 3, and then this cycle wave 3 well past 1 million would definitely not be unreasonable to predict. Just to get symmetry with this wave 1 in log scale. So moving on to the next count, we have this one right here, where I'm sure a lot of people have thought of this count because it just makes the most sense. If you were to hide that count for now, it makes the most sense to just have a 1, 2, 3, 4, and we're currently in a wave 5. Now, it does make some sense. I have to admit, I like this count a little bit more than the count I just showed you guys, but this definitely is a possibility where this is all wave 1 here, in which case this was a primary wave 1 down here, down for primary wave 2, up for 3, 4, 5 to complete this cycle wave 1 right here. And then we get a cycle wave 3, 4 here. And then we're currently in the process of completing this cycle wave 5, which would be in the way of this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, where instead of doing a WXY, we're calling the wave 4 in down here. So this would be the bottom of the correction for a WXY. And this would all be the start of a wave 1 down for wave 2. Now, the main reason I don't like this count as much as the previous count that I just showed you guys right here is because in this count, for the wave 2 and the wave 4, they look very similar. For the wave 2, you get an A, B, C, a 3-wave move, which retraces the previous price action quite sharply. Then for the 4th wave, you get the same thing. I'm calling this WXY, but you get another zigzag looking structure for an A, B, C, or WXY. And also, it doesn't alternate that much in terms of price retracement. For example, the wave 2, we could assume it started somewhere down here. It retraces past the 0.786, and then the wave 4 retraces also pretty sharply past the 0.786. And in terms of price, and rather in terms of time duration, they're also pretty similar. For example, this took 420 days approximately, and wave 4 took about 360 days. So they're very similar in terms of price retracement and time duration. And you don't get the alternation in terms of wave structure. So I don't think it's that likely that this is a wave 2 and this is a wave 4 of the same degree. Now, that's what I was going with previously, but now my new favorite count I would have to say is probably this one right here, where this is a 1, 2, and it is very bullish. So if you're a bear, then you're probably not going to like this count because this is going to have us coming pretty high for this wave 3. I just think it makes the most sense, all things considered. Now, the next count I want to show you guys would be this one right here, where this is actually, let's see, so this would be a 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, the only difference between this one right here would be that, so the 1, 2 are the same, but the 3 and the 4, rather the 4th wave ends right here as opposed to right here. So the previous count that I showed you guys, the 4th wave ends down here. Now, to get better alternation between wave 4 and wave 2, we could put the 4th wave right here, like we did in this count, and then we get a WXY down for the wave 4, and this would have us being in this wave 2, and not that one. This would have us being in a wave 2 where it would be like this, like I showed you guys previously. So that's another option that's a little bit similar to the first option where we'd be in a wave 2 right here. The only difference is that we're going to be in a wave 5 in this scenario as opposed to being in a wave 3. So it's not going to be quite as bullish in the short term, medium term, or long term as the first count that I showed you guys. But it still would make good sense because this would give us alternation between the wave 2 and the wave 4. And I don't see any reason that this can't be wave 2 and this can't be wave 4 if we get the proper alternation. All right, so the most bearish count that we're looking at would be calling this wave 4 in right here. And then this wave 5 would be put in right here. And we'd be looking at something like this, where this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we could count this as a 5-wave structure if we do a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And here it is possible. Now this wave 4 is pretty sharp for a wave 4. Typically for wave 4 is they're a little bit more flatlined, where you get something like this, you get more consolidation. Now, I don't think this is that likely, to be honest, because this wave 5 has no correlation with the previous wave 5s that we've seen in Bitcoin. The previous wave 5s we've seen in Bitcoin are major blow-off tops, like we get here and here. And even if you zoom into some of the more local wave 5s, you get some more local blow-off tops. So it doesn't look that probable that this is a wave 5. Plus, we get decreasing volume into these highs, which is also not very typical of a wave 5 in crypto. So it's a possibility. We have to keep that in mind. Now, if this were to be real, then we would be putting in a super cycle wave 1 up here. And per Elliott wave rules, you want to expect to retrace into the wave 4 of 1 lesser degree, which would be in this area right here. It's a pretty wide range. It would be anywhere between 20K approximately and 3K. I would say more likely we'd probably come down to this order block right here if we did in fact top out for super cycle wave 2, rather 1. So for the wave 2, we'd be probably coming down somewhere in this range right here, around these order blocks right here, around 9, 10K. That's my best guess if we did in fact top out, but I don't think we did. We just have to wait and see what happens. And yeah, that's about all I wanted to go over on the macro time frame. Now let's hide this and go into some of the more local price action, and I'll show you guys what we could be looking at. So I'm going to hide that, and we're going to go over to the Coinbase chart. So this would actually just be BTC USD, Coinbase. And we're going to go into this price action right here. Basically everything that we're considering either wave 2, this would be a wave 1, 2 here, or it could be a 1, 2, 3, 4. Now the first count I'm going to show you guys has this being in a wave 4, but just ignore everything beyond or rather to the left of this area right here. I'm going to zoom into the 4-hour chart to give you guys a better view of what we're looking at. And basically for this count, this is the flat count. So as many of you guys know, it is likely that we could be in a flat, or we could have completed a running flat. And I'd count that as an ABC for the intermediate A wave, which would be a 1, 2, 3, so or rather ABC for the A wave, ABC for the B wave, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the C wave of an expanded flat for this wave A. Then moving up, we get a zigzag for the wave B, and then for this wave C, the best way I could count it to get a 5-wave structure would be putting a wave 1 here, 2 here, 3 here, 4 here, and 5 here. Now I'll zoom in for you guys to show you guys the subdivisions, but I don't want to go too much into them in this video because I've already covered them in previous videos. So if you do want to see the subdivisions for all these wave structures right here, then feel free to go to my previous Elliott wave count videos for Bitcoin. But for this video, I will go through it quickly. And the way I'm counting is putting a 1, 2 here, 3, 4, 5 down for the wave 1. Then we're calling this all a wave of ABC. It's rather an WXY for an ABC for the wave W. Then down for an ABC for the wave X, and then up for another ABC for the wave Y to complete this wave 2. Then going down, we get a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the wave 3. This is a very short wave 4, as I mentioned to you guys previously, but it's really the only way we can count this section as a 5-wave structure. So we get a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the wave 3, up for the wave 4, which happens to be a WXY as well, where this is a zigzag for the W wave. This would be a triangle for the X wave, and another zigzag for the wave Y. Then moving down, we get a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to complete this wave 5, which could be the completion of a running flat, but it could also be the completion of the wave 1 of an expanded flat, in which case we just put in a wave 1. This would be a minor wave 1 here. And we're simply just going to do something like this: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now that would be probably the most bearish scenario, because to get a nice long wave 3, we'd have to really come all the way down here to this 22K level or even further. And then to complete the wave 5, we'd probably be all the way in this order block right here, well below 20K, maybe perhaps 18K or so. So that would be probably the most bearish scenario that I would be expecting to play out in terms of this being an expanded flat. And like I mentioned, you guys, the real most bearish scenario would be calling this all wave 5, and then we're just gonna be impulsing down from here, maybe to create some sort of zigzag. But I'm considering this all a corrected move right here. I think it makes the most sense. And that would be the first count that I would be showing you guys on the flat count. And another way you could count it is by saying this is all 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for wave 1, up for wave 2. And this is actually all an extended third wave. And this would also be a pretty bearish way of counting it, because this would mean that wave 3, if this is just simply wave 1 of this wave 3, then we would probably be coming pretty low to complete the 3, 4, 5 of this wave 3. So this would also have us coming pretty low. My best guess would be either this order block right here around 23, 24K, or this one right here around 20 to 18K if we were to bottom out for this wave 5. Now, the maximum retracement typically for a expanded flat would be the 1.618 of wave A, which we can measure right now. And that would be about around 21.3K. Now, if we put it on log scale, it would be about around 22K. But it's not atypical for it to come a little past the 1.618. So if we were to get this, we might bottom out for the wave 3 around this 1.618, or this order block right here around 23, 24K. And then finally bottom out for the wave 5 a little bit below this 1.618 around 18 to 20K. Now, like I mentioned to you guys previously, we could have actually just bottomed out here for running flat. We have to wait and see. But another count we could be going off of would be this one right here, which would be a WXY. So as in the previous count, this would start out with an expanded flat for an ABC. Then this would be a zigzag for an ABC for the wave X. And then this would be a zigzag for the wave Y. So this would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the wave A. This would be WXY for the wave B. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the wave C. So in this count, we could have actually just completed a wave Y of a WXY. And we're going to expect us to start impulsing out of here, which we're kind of doing right now. So this could be a 1, 2. This could all be a 3, 4 up here, and 5. Now, before we get into the local counts, the last count I want to show you guys today would be the triangle count. So that would look a little bit like this right here. This would all be a running triangle where this is a wave A, this is a B, this is a C, and we're currently coming out for the wave D, which is probably going to be a zigzag as so. Then the wave E would be a zigzag as well. Now, as you guys know, if you watched my previous videos on Bitcoin Elliott waves, I'm not a huge fan of this count right here because you don't get the nice decreasing volume that you want to get out of a triangle. You want to see the most volume in wave A, less in wave B, then less in wave C, then obviously less in wave D and E. And we actually see more volume in wave C than we did in wave B. So it's not really following the what you want to see for a triangle, in which case you get less volume in each subwave. So we're not really getting the nice decreasing volume. You guys could see you get an uptick in volume in wave C, which is not really what you want to see. So I think it's more likely this is all a flat count as opposed to a triangle count. Now, if we were to get a zigzag structure up for this wave D and then get a rejection and come down here past this high of the wave A of the zigzag, so if we were to come down here, then that would be an indicator that we might actually indeed be in a triangle count, and we might want to try to buy in for this wave E. But until then, I'm not really going to consider that likely. We just have to wait and see and really see what happens, but I don't think it's that likely. I just wanted to show you guys it is a possibility to keep in mind. So without further ado, let's hide this count and go into the local count in this section right here. So I'm sure a lot of you guys are probably wondering if we bottomed out or if we're in a corrected move right now, and I'm going to give you guys my 2 cents. So let's hide that, make it a little bit cleaner to see. And the main local count that I'm going off of is actually calling this a wave 1, this is a wave 1, 2, and this is all wave 3. Now, it's possible to say this is an A, B, C up here, but I think it makes more sense that this is a 1, 2, 3. And the main local count would look a little bit like this. So this would all be a 1, 2, as I mentioned earlier. And we could actually count up for a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like I showed you guys in a previous video, where this is a 1, 2 down here. This is summoning out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here. Now, the main problem is this wave 1, but I think it is likely to give it is possible to give it a little bit of leeway for this count because we're on the local time frame, we're on the lower time frame. So we could give it a little bit more leeway for this wave 1 and say this is a 1, 2. This is a 3, 4 here, which doesn't overlap this wave 1, so it's valid. And then this is a 5 up here, and this would be ABC for the wave 4, and then for the wave 5. And this could all complete a minute wave 1 here. And then moving down, we get an ABC for the wave A, then we get a ABC for the wave B, which would probably look something like this. A wave here, B wave here, C wave up here for some sort of zigzag or WXY. Then we move down for a 5-wave structure for an 8, for rather 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to give us a running flat for ABC, which would end this wave 2 right here. And then moving up, we get a 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for this wave 3. This is all wave 4 here, and this is all wave 5 right here. This is actually could all be a wave 5 up here for a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to complete the minute wave 3. And then currently, my best guess is that we're probably in a flat, or we completed a flat down here, in which case this is all an ABC. This is all some sort of ABC or WXY. And then this is all a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, if we zoom into this section right here, we could get a 5-wave structure out of this move right here. Let's go to the 5-minute chart. It is possible to count down as a 1, 2. This could be a 3, 4 here, and then a 5 in down here. Now in this section right here, we also want to see a 5-wave move off the lows to give us confirmation that this could be a potential low right here. Now we're already on the 5-minute chart, and I'm not going to go to the 1-minute chart or lower. I just think it's going to provide too much noise to really, try to go through the 1-minute chart and decide if this is a 5-wave move or not. I would say just based on the look of it, it looks pretty impulsive. So this could all be a 1, 2, and we could be in the way of making a wave 3, which is going to come up here. This looks a little bit corrective, but we have to wait and see and give it time to play out. But I think it is possible this wave 4 could be put in, especially if this is an expanded flat. This would have taken out these lows right here. If this is all wave A down here, and this is wave B up here, this wave C would have taken out these lows. So it's possible that this wave 4 is in, and I think it actually makes the most sense. This can't really be. I would not be comfortable saying this is a wave 1 here. That would probably just bring wave 4 way too low. So it makes sense for this wave 4 to be in, but we're just going to have to give it time. I would say the lowest it could go would probably be this order block right here. If we were to fall below this order block right here, I'd probably be considering a different count than saying this is a 3, 4. And we might have put in a 5 up here. This might be all 3, 4 here. And this could be a 5, and we could be correcting down, in which case this is all an A, or this could all be a 1, 2. We could be impulsing down here for a zigzag, or it is impulsing down for wave 2, or continuing some sort of larger correction. So that's my take on the lower time frame. Now, the main reason I think this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 as opposed to an ABC is because this wave 3 comes up to about the 1.618 of this wave 1. So if you take a trend-based Fibonacci extension tool like I did, from the bottom of wave 1 to the top of wave 1, and you compare it to the end of wave 2, then as you guys can see, this wave 3 comes to about the 1.618, which is the target for a wave 3. So it's more likely it's a wave 3 if it comes to the 1.618 than a wave C. So therefore, I think it's more likely this is a wave 3, and it also aligns with a lot of Elliott wave counts that I showed you guys previously, in which case we could have put a bottom down here for the WXY, or for our flat, for a running flat, or for a expanded flat, in which case this is a wave 1 down here. Now, in that case, if this is just simply a wave 1 in down here of an expanded flat, then we could just expect us to come up for wave 5, which might get a lot of people bullish. But this could all be a larger wave A, then we could be coming down for wave B and up for wave C, which could complete a wave 2 of an expanded flat, which would look like this. So this would be a 1, 2, and then as I showed you guys earlier, we would just be impulsing down from here. All right, that's about all I wanted to cover in this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Leave a thumbs up if you did, and then come join us on Discord. The link is down below in the description, and I'll see you guys in the Discord server and in the next video. Take care. Bye.